Let's go back to that union rally where the unions wanted a second Bill of Rights to protect workers. And I was pleased that most of the protesters I talked to were civil. Some yelled, but we could have an argument. Kennedy had a different experience, maybe because she had the nerve to propose a second Bill of Rights, an employer's Bill of Rights.
Everyone's running around with a brand new Bill of Rights, and I felt lonely. So we crafted something to really protect small business owners.
The right to hire and fire.
Absolutely.
The right to relocate my business from anywhere to anywhere.
The right to determine wage level.
Kennedy spent more time at the rally than I. She marched along, and all was fine until she tried to get workers to sign her petition for that employer's Bill of Rights.
Working people don't make enough as it is right now.
Why don't you want to build America to be the best America can possibly be?
I think you should go away.
I think you should go away.
I'm questioning your Bill of Rights.
That's not a fire engine. That siren came from some union members whose response to Kennedy's proposal was drowning her out.
Who are you? What are you kidding me?
So what was that about? They didn't want you heard? They didn't want their people... They just didn't like the question?
No, and a lot of the thug bosses, they didn't want union members to think for themselves. They didn't want them to express their opinions to someone from the media. And they were really upset that someone from Fox Business was there showing what was going on at the rally. And, you know...
And they were until you raised the concept of an employer having some rights, too.
I am sympathetic to small business owners. My husband owns a small business. And you talk about teachers spending 36 hours a week on a job they love, they're passionate about. My husband is up until 2, 3 in the morning. And to succeed, it takes globes of steel. And that is why I'm so sympathetic to business owners in this country, in this environment, as taxes go up. And
by contrast, at the rally, many union workers acted as if they own their jobs. Civil rights laws do say employers can't fire you because of age, gender, race, disability. The unions take it further. They say the employer has no right to say no religious displays or that you have to dress professionally.
The guy doesn't like the way I dress. He cannot fire me.
Who is the determiner of my wage?
Well, your boss.
No.
No. So the boss invests in the company and he doesn't get to determine the wage. And that's the attitude among many Americans.
Well, and by the way, the idea of collective bargaining, it's so condescending. I mean, it basically says that individuals are not able to think for themselves, that they cannot negotiate cogently for themselves, and that is such an insult.
Well, some people are not wise to this, and they want to get together and bargain, and that's freedom of association.
Then, you know what? Go to a flea market on a Saturday. That doesn't mean that you have to impose your will writ large on the rest of the country, because most people don't want to be a part of a union, and public unions, whether you like it or not, are bankrupting states like California.
And Illinois.
And Illinois, we're well on our way. $203 billion in unfunded debt. And the problem, John, with all of this, and the reason we have such a problem...
It's a race between Illinois and California.
It is a race, right to the bottom, unfortunately. And the bad news for the union members that they don't yet know is taxpayers can leave. And when the money runs out, the union members won't get it because the taxpayers have exited to other states. But the key point of all of this is that these unions are monopoly providers of services. That's why 350,000 kids were not in school. And as a monopoly provider of service, they are taking control of our government at the local and state level away from we the people. And that's the thing that we have to start focusing on and reassert control.
The monopoly part is interesting because I don't see people striking outside movie theaters or supermarkets. It's the monopoly government area.
I think it really tells us who has the power in this relationship. The mayor, who had a reputation for being a tough guy, was completely essentially rolled by the union and had to go to a court to try to get them to come back to work. And the union had all the power and all the control because they are that provider of service, a monopoly.
Monopoly provider. Unlike the supermarket, which has competition. One strikes, they might all lose their job.
And the only way to create a mechanism of accountability in education, for example, is school choice that empowers the parents instead of empowering the school system or the union.
Why is that such a dirty concept, though? I don't understand
It's not. We're for it on this show. Thank you, John Tillman and Kennedy.